This video is about the best planes in Airline Manager 4. Unfortunately, I cannot record video from the game, but I'm going to go through my list of planes. I'm going to tell you the ones that I purchased. One of the ones that I buy is the Saab 90 Scandia and the Saab 340. And I have the Phenom 300, the B737-800, and I have one called the Legacy 500. Most of the planes that I bought were Saab 340, and the reason why is because I was planning on doing short haul flights across the United States. Then I realized, I want to do the range because you make a lot more money with the range, and the Saab 90 Scandia is a really good buy because of both the range and the number of passengers. For example, I did a flight with where I made 30,000, which isn't so bad. It went from Kansas City to Peru, and now it's going to go on its way back. Is it the best plane? No, there's other planes. I'm going to show you some of the other planes. So I'm looking on the order page, and I click on Show List. The Phenom planes have good range, but I didn't make a lot of money with them. The Saab 340 is nice because it's got a decent range and 37 passengers is pretty good. So you should definitely look at the Saab 340. But then when you get into Saab 90, it says 32 passengers with a greater range. So it's a little bit less passenger, but the range is a lot more. It is, in fact, about almost 50% more. So then you got other vehicles. I looked up at the 50 passenger planes. You got the ATR 42-500 is one of them. There's another one. It says F-27-600's got a lot of passengers. ATR 42-400. And I found one that I liked. I believe it was the DC-4. I don't have the money to buy one yet. Looking through to see exactly where it is. Here it is, DC-4, 86 passengers, 4,000 kilometer range. That is really good. For this price, which it's actually 464,000 is the selling price, you get a really nice range and a lot of passengers, so it's gonna make money. Now bear in mind, because it's a low-speed aircraft, 365 kilometers, it's going to take twice as long to make money as a faster plane. For example, one that does 40 passengers but goes 900 kilometers, which you're not going to really find at that price. It's the 4,000 kilometer range is what I like, because I like the fact that I can book it on a long flight that's going to have a high value ticket and just forget about it. And then when I come back later, I got a lot of cash sitting in the account. So there's other vehicles. For example, there is a vehicle called the Lineage 1000. It has a range of 8,300 kilometers. It does 888 kilometers per hour, but only 19 passengers. It's 385,000. Decent price, great, amazing range, great speed. Can't bring a lot of passengers, which is too bad. But it's got to be a fun plane to play in. If you got the money, go for it, right? And then there's others like the Citation, the Legacy 600. There's one that I wanted. It has the Praetor 600. 7,400 kilometer range, only 8 passenger, 800 kilometers per hour. You might want to run it as a first class plane because you get more money even though it's fewer passengers. I also looked at the Russian planes, the Tupolev, the Tu-104, 2,700 kilometer range, 50 passenger, 800 kilometers per hour, $240,000. So that's got something where it's got a decent range. It's pretty fast, decent amount of passengers. Um, and these, we're talking about more on the lower end. When you get into the higher end, the planes get to be a lot more expensive, and obviously, it's going to take you a lot longer before you can afford to buy one. But here's one: the Global 7500, 14,000 kilometer range. In fact, is it 40,000 to get around the Earth? So 14 is third of the way there. 955 kilometers, only 19 passengers, $630,000. And then, of course, there's the Global 8,000, which is a little bit more expensive. So that's something that you might want to do if you like to do the long range, where you're going to have a high ticket price and it's going to go at a decent speed, not going to get a lot of passengers until you get your marketing up there. Scrolling down, looking at some of the higher end planes, just going to go through. You do have the Concorde, which is 7,500 kilometers, 2,100 kilometers per hour, and 120 passengers. It's 407 million. That's a lot of money. We've got the A380-800. It's 215 million, 600 passenger plane. 14,500 kilometers, 945 kilometers per hour. So you got a lot of great options there. Once you get up, oh, here's another one. The B747-400D is only 80 million, and it's a 600 passenger plane. Once you get up to the top, you're going to get a lot of planes that have the same number of passengers. They're all going to be 400 passenger planes, but they're not all that expensive. For example, I'm looking at one 300 passengers, 10,000 miles, 33 million. It's a lot less expensive than the $100 million planes. Okay, so those are just some of the planes that I've played, and I would say, I've been playing for a few hours this particular game because I did restart a couple times, and I would say look into the Saab 9D Scandia when you're starting out. I really think that it's going to have a lot of good flights for you. Okay, if you have any questions or comments, please post below.